Hello,
Stop. Go ahead.
Hello, everybody. My name's Brian Bussey. I want to thank Sarah Lee for asking me to the Crystal Healing Summit. Today I'm here to talk to you about rocks, minerals as a miner, and the science around them that I've learned in 38 years. Welcome to Colorado, and I guess I'll start with mining. I've been a hard rock miner for 30 out of the last 38 years. I started as a rock and mineral educating tour guide. When I wasn't guiding and leading trips, I started digging and hard rock and minerals. I've been blessed to hunt minerals all over the United States. There's nothing like pulling a mineral out of the ground or out of a pocket and being the first one to bring it into the daylight and the first one to see it. It's quite an exhilarating thing. Main thing that I mine is aquamarine from on top of a 12,000 to 14,000 foot mountain called Mount Antero. I have a wonderful aquamarine mine. Aquamarine is in the beryl family. I just love beryls. The nice thing about pegmatites, which are granite mica and feldspar that bear aquamarines, and the hydrothermic beryl veins and pipes that push those minerals into the pegmatites, both occur at my mine. One of the things about that, in those two types of ore, you can have 6,000 other accessory minerals. So I have one of those mines where you're not really sure what you're going to find or the combination of the pieces that you find. Beryl mineral is chemically beryllium, aluminum, silicon dioxide. A small amount of iron turns it blue. Small amount of magnesium turns it pink. A little less iron turns it yellow. A little bit of chrome turns it into emerald. So it's microchemistry. What I found out in studying and learning about these minerals is it's all atomic, element, and compound energy. The first energy that I'll discuss today is the electric atomic energy. You have a proton, electron, and neutron that are not attached. They are moving around in microspace. The lattice is the way that those compounds and elements attach to form different varieties. One of the things that I have learned in looking at crystals and their shape is that molecular lattice dictates the geometry of that crystal. If there's a variance in the amount of the elements that make up the compound, then the lattice can shift. So minerals are related to that geometrical shape and the energies of those original atoms. Um, that electricity in that is very similar um, to the electricity that's throughout most atomic compositions, whether it's a person, a plant, an animal. Um, that is a form of electrical energy. One of the other forms of energy is magnetic. The amount of metal in associated to the polar axes also can affect and is reflected in compounds. So that would be another type of energy. One of my favorites is light. When you have a clear crystal, light bends differently in each compound or each crystal form. That is called refractive index. So you can measure that angle and identify what that crystal might be. That's very handy in identifying minerals. Take, for instance, crystal clear minerals. There's 40 to 100 different minerals that form crystal clear. Some of the other ways that you can identify those are by luster, which is shine or touch. You can do a refractive index test on it. You can take a small particle, burn it with fire, and the color of the flame can also help you identify the elements in that compound or the element itself. So another form of energy can be heat or radiation. By heat, I mean that how would I say this? Conduct heat different, hold heat different, heat up different, cool off different. So that is another form of energy that can be and is unique to a lot of rocks and minerals. I have talked to people all over the world how a person reacts to a mineral. One of the simplest ways that I like to state it is when a person sees the beautiful colors, the shapes, you can see a smile on their face. You can see it relieves stress, make their eyes get enlarged. To me, that is the purest form of healing. Stress and anxiety, the pressures of today's world and in the past harm people's health. So one of the things that I think will be studied for a long time in the future, as well as today and in the past, was how that interacts with each person's body. I think it's the best way to open oneself up. People ask me for advice on what these minerals and crystals will do. I tend to lead them to just feel it with their heart, see it in their eyes and their smile. But certain minerals can affect those certain energies, such as, magnetic or electric waves. Obviously, iron and copper can ground a person, just like they ground lightning or electricity that we have and all use throughout our lives. As a miner, I've seen records from the 1800s and some records throughout, thousands of years of what they called it, these things, and what could be processed through melting, when it comes to metals. But in our country, in the late 1800s, they were, started mining for silver and gold and copper and iron. And at that time, there was only 17 things on the periodic table. So science has catapulted forward in the last 140 years. And as I study this stuff, I realize that we're just on the tip of truly understanding the science of these beautiful things that we find in nature. It's exciting to dig and find. I look at every rock as a educational tool. It teaches me how Mother Nature grows these things from that gas, liquid to solid state, which is what happens with the magma from the center of the earth, and that form these beautiful things. Another way that heat can be created that will melt the elements is pressure. If you have a rock plate that's 20 miles deep, the pressure of that weight with gravity can ignite rock and burn it. So that's another way that a heat source can form or reform minerals. Another way is through chemistry. Sometimes when two elements react with each other, they can create enormous heat, which can also remelt a rock or a mineral. It's a fascinating world. I've been blessed to mine it and start learning as much as I can about these beautiful things. What I do is extremely hard work, but it doesn't seem that way because I enjoy it. Every pocket, every piece that I find a characteristic that I haven't seen, that is one of the ways that I have learned. I picked up millions of rocks and studied them. It's been a lot of fun, and I want to thank Sarah Lee again for inviting me to the summit. I want you to have a wonderful time and keep studying and keep learning about some of the most beautiful things that nature's ever made. This is Brian Bussey. I call myself the American Gem Tracker. What I do for a living is track gems and mine them. I want to say goodbye today from beautiful Colorado, high in the Rocky Mountains, and thank you for inviting me to your summit. Have a blessed day.